like to call this meeting to order. If everybody would please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Roll call, please. Roll call? Sorry.
Commissioner Gaughan?
Here.
Commissioner Chermak's excused. Mayor Chelik?
Present.
Mrs. Gatto?
Here.
Mr. Tobin?
Present.
And Mrs. Magnotta?
Present.
Opportunity for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Okay, seeing that there is no one, I'd like to ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our June 12th meeting.
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it and the minutes have been approved. I ask for a motion to approve the vouchers from June 13th, 2024 through July 10th, 2024. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the vouchers have been approved. Number 6, Ralph, bid openings.
There are no bid openings at this time.
Okay. And we're on to number 7, discussion items, and the first one is the Landbank property disposition update.
To date, the Landbank has conveyed 233 properties countywide. In the city of Scranton, we've conveyed 240. We have 9 properties pending and 6 properties within the city to be acted upon at today's meeting. Just a breakdown by zip code in the city: in West Scranton, 18504, 74 properties conveyed. South Scranton, 18505, 59 properties conveyed. North Scranton, 18508, 60 properties conveyed. Green Ridge, 18509, 22 properties conveyed. East Scranton, 18510, 13 properties conveyed. We've conveyed 3 properties to the city. We've conveyed 3 properties to United Neighborhood Development Corporation, 5 properties to Scranton Lackawanna Resource Development Corporation, 1 to the Ronald McDonald House, 55 properties conveyed in Covington Township with 1 property pending. In Carbondale City, 18 properties conveyed and 1 property to be acted upon at today's meeting. Vandling, 1 property conveyed. Feld Township, 4 properties conveyed. Troop Borough, 1 property conveyed. Scott Township, 4 properties conveyed with 5 properties pending and 4 properties to be acted upon at today's meeting. Thornhurst Township, 5 properties conveyed. Jefferson Township, 1 property conveyed. Dunmore Borough, 2 properties conveyed. Archibald Borough, 1 property conveyed. And Blakely Borough, 1 property conveyed.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions on that for Ralph? Okay. Second item is the Blight Task Force update.
Todd is on vacation this week, so we really don't have an update on that. But just speaking with them in the past week, the AmeriCorps volunteers that they had are gone now, so we're going to have to rely on some of the volunteers that that NeighborWorks has, plus the Scranton DPW for cleaning up some of the properties. So I'll keep on top of that.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
very much. And the third item is the Advisory Committee Property Acquisition Disposition Discussion.
Okay, if everyone has their papers here. Okay, the first 2 properties are located in Scott Township. We've received property applications from Jason Colicino of Gibson Street in German for these 2 tax claim repository properties. And he owns that adjacent property in between both of them, and he wants to use these properties for green space and recreation. There were no additional applications received for the property, and he made offers of $500 for each property. The next 2 are also in Scott Township, adjacent properties from Janice Acapenti and Brian Wedlock Main Street and Blakely, and these are two tax claim repositories that will be taken in. Their plan is to construct a new home on one of the properties and use the other as green space. There are no additional applications received for the properties, and they submitted an offer of $500 for each property. Next one is in Scranton, and that's at 116 Bingar Place. Received an application from William Schoner. He's doing business as Bingar Properties LLC, Main Street, Knoll Forge. Mr. Schoner plans to build a home on the property. Again, there are no additional applications for this property, and Mr. Schoner submitted an offer of $500 for this property. And this is a property that the Land Bank has had in our inventory since the beginning, so it's nice to get it, some construction there. Now, the next one is at 736 Prescott Avenue in Scranton. Received an application from Mr. DeCarlo Brown of River Street in Sanford, Maine. It's a tax claim repository. He plans to build a home on the property. He does have family in Wayne County and owns property as well. And there are no additional applications received for the property, and he submitted an offer of $500 for the property. Our advisory committee that we met last week had some little bit of concern on this property because he's from Maine, so I did call him. He's a city planner up in Sanford, Maine, and he does have family here in Wayne County, and he knows that he has to take care of that property prior to building on it. So I'm comfortable with it as long as the board is.
Is it a non-conforming lot?
Well, he would have to probably get a variance
Yeah,
depending
that's what I'm looking at, 40
depending
feet,
on, right.
so.
And as a planner, I'm sure he's very well aware of that. Also, I think the other concern was as far as, he doesn't own any property in Lackawanna County, so, I make sure everybody's up to date on their taxes and their municipal fees. So what everybody does sign, and I'm sure most of the board is familiar with this, they sign an affidavit that they are up to date on any property they own in Pennsylvania. Now, I think it's a little too much to be asking, countrywide, but I mean, as long as they're up to date and in Lackawanna County and in the state, I think we should be okay. Okay. Okay, the next one, moving on, is at 1860 Ferdinand Street in Scranton, and we received an application from Michael Belindi. He resides in the adjacent property, owns and resides in the adjacent property, and his plan is to clean up this property and maintain it as green space for now. There are no additional applications received for the property, and he submitted an offer of $500 for the property. The next one is at 420 North Irving Avenue. Received an application from Kevin Grady at 410 North Irving Avenue, an adjacent property owner. He plans to extend his current property. Again, there is no additional application for this property, and he submitted an offer of $150 under the side lot program. The next one is at 1309 Cedar Avenue in Scranton. Received an application from Adrian Torres. He owns the adjacent property at 1301 Cedar Avenue. Again, this is a tax claim repository property, and he'll use this property to extend his current property and keep it clean. No additional applications for this property as well, and he submitted an offer of $150 for the property under the side lot purchase program. Again, the advisory committee kind of brought up that it's a commercial property that he owns next door, and they were a little concerned about whether he'll maybe put cars or something on this property. But it is a mixed use area, so I believe whatever he wants to do for it in the future, he would have to go through the zoning office, depending on what he wants to do. Okay. Next one is at 802 South Irving Avenue in Scranton. Received an application from Delina Molina at 740 Birch Street, which is an adjacent property for the land. This is a land bank owned property now. she'll use this property to extend her current property. There were no additional applications received, and she submitted an offer of $150 for this property under the side lot program. Next one is at 519 North Decker Court in Scranton. Received an application from Lippman Strasser. He's doing business as 702 Pittston Avenue LLC, and he's out of Brooklyn, New York, but he owns several properties here in Scranton, and he owns the property, an adjacent property that fronts on North Main Avenue. He would like to use this property for parking for his Main Avenue property. He's aware that this use must be approved by the city of Scranton. There are no additional applications received for the property, and he submitted an offer of $150 for the property under the side lot program. And I believe he's on the agenda for tonight's zoning meeting at the city to convert that single family into a double. So I do have a call into Don King, too, to let him know that the board is going to act on this today. But, I mean, if they turn him down, we can, it's a land bank property, so we already own it. We don't have to take it in, and so hopefully things will work out. Okay?
No, if we vote, we're voting on this today, right?
Right.
And even if it doesn't work out, he still is going to pay taxes, so it's still on the tax rolls.
Right,
So
right.
he
I
can
mean, if it
figure
doesn't work
something.
out as far as parking, he could use it just for, maybe for his tenants. for
Right,
use.
okay.
Okay. Next one is at 54 Farview Street in Carbondale. Side lot application was received from Shannon Hugaboom. She resides at 52 Farview Street in Carbondale, and again, that's an adjacent property, and she'll use this to extend her current yard. No other additional applications for the property, and she submitted an offer of $150 for the property under the side lot program. This is a lot that, working with NeighborWorks, they took down the property that was there that's been kind of blighted for like 5 years. So, working with them, they took it down. Now the property is going back on the tax rolls as a vacant lot.
They took down the home?
There is a home on that.
There is a home there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shown on.
The picture still.
This is,
Yeah.
That's gone. The next one is located at 101 Bellman Street in Troop. We received a side lot purchase application from Matthew Stornable of 103 Bellman Street. For this tax claim repository, he owns the adjacent property and will use the property to extend his yard. He does maintain it now and has been for the past couple of years, waiting for it to go up for sale either through the tax claim office or through the land bank. No other applications received for the property, and he submitted an offer of $150 under the side lot program. Any questions on that? Anyone? Okay. The next two properties are the ones that I sent an email out to everyone that we took the two adjacent properties at the last judicial sale. These two properties, one 10 feet wide and the other one 50 feet wide on the corner, are in the repository. So we want to take this as more or less land assemblage for future affordable housing in this area. So we'll have a frontage like of 100 feet there along 4th Avenue. And we're just looking for the board's approval to take these properties in from the tax claim office. And that's it.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions on any of those?
No, I don't. Anyone else? Okay.
Good day.
Okay, thanks, Ralph. All right, so we'll go through our action items now. The first is Resolution Number 24-019. This is approving the acquisition of additional property from the Tax Claim Office repository list of unsold property. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution number 24-020. This is approving the conveyance of certain land bank-owned property under the Property Purchase Program. May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second on the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution is approved. Resolution number 24-021. This is approving the conveyance of certain land bank-owned property under the Side Lot Purchase Program. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution number 24-022. This is rescinding the acquisition and conveyance of a previously approved tax claim repository property. May I have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
On the question?
On the question, I just want everyone to know what happened. We never took this property in, okay? It's still on tax claim. When the prospective purchaser went to look at the property, there are some issues with it as far as there might be a mine shaft or something on it, so kind of backed off on purchasing the property.
Okay.
And so we never took it in, so it's going to remain in the inventory of the repository, okay?
Okay.
All right?
Anyone else on the question? Thanks, Ralph. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Resolution number 24-023. This is approving amendment number 7 to a legal services contract. May I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it, and the resolution has been approved. Opportunity for the public to address the board? Seeing that there is no one, directors, other business. Does anyone have anything? No? Okay. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is adjourned. Our next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, August 14th, 2024 at 11 a.m. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.